Hey, it's Don. Welcome to Don't Worry, I'm Finite. Today I came out to the Morris River Bluffs in Millville, New Jersey, my hometown, to talk to my friend Omar about politics and inspiration and travel. And we're gonna fly a drone. So let's see how all that goes as soon as he gets here. I'm gonna go find him. Let's go.
Okay, introduce myself. Well, my name's Omar Williams. I'm a friend of Don's. We've been hanging out many times, both lovers of Thursday and hanging out. So it's good to be with you, man.
I'd say the big thing that brought us together was Thursday.
Yes.
And our shared love for music and hardcore and the community around that.
Oh, it's the best, right?
But recently we've been kind of bonding over travel, and you've told me very kindly that I've inspired you to try these things and go out there and do things.
Well, for sure, it's definitely been you. I really appreciate all the times that we got to talk about travel and do things. We actually got to do a little bit of traveling together. We went to California,
yes.
Thanks to our love of Thursday. We went out to California, so it was kind of cool to be able to do that and travel and see stuff and see places and areas that we hadn't seen before. Like, I didn't know anything about San Diego, but being with Don, I was able to go all over San Diego, see these really cool spots, and then we ran all over Los Angeles. One of my favorite things that we did when we were out in California was we went to the Griffith Observatory and just hanging out and looking at those views. Don was taking some pictures, and I just started to get that kind of enjoyment of pictures, and now I got myself a camera, and I've been kind of delving into that as well. So this guy just constantly inspires me, so it's pretty cool to be able to hang with him whenever I can. This was just always this close.
It was always here.
What? This is amazing. Now look at that view, man.
He's kind of sparked my love for drone photography and videography now. We only went out once, and I'm already just excited to fly some drones and get some unique photos. I'm a little late to the party on the drone game, but I don't care. I'm excited to do it myself and see what I can do.
Even though people have been doing it for a while, there's still new stuff. Like, even the little bit I've seen, I've even improved from when I started. So you just get better, and it just, over time, you get more comfortable.
That's true. If I had any problem with doing something after it's already become extremely popular, I would not have a podcast right now. All right, let's put it back up. I'll say that being able to see this area that I know so well from such a different vantage point and see the estuaries and see the little inlets in the water and the marsh is just really, really incredible. To be able to take photos like this is super inspiring, and the video, I'm very excited to see what else I can do with the drones. So
pretty cool, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for showing me all this stuff.
You got it, man.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about you traveling. One of the things I'm actually interested in is you kind of got into visiting some baseball stadiums, right? Or
yeah,
football stadiums. Yeah. Sorry, football stadiums with your mom, right?
Yeah.
So like that's something that like kind of drives your interest for travel also.
Oh wow! So I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Go Steelers! And so I've been to Heinz Field. I've been to the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium, because that's close, obviously. And then my mom's a huge Green Bay Packers fan, so we went out to Lambeau and saw legendary Lambeau Field. So it's been cool to see those three stadiums. We really hope to be able to go and see some more stadiums next year. We'll really have our fingers crossed for either Las Vegas stadium, now that the Raiders have moved, or out to LA to see SoFi, which is new, or down to New Orleans to see the Saints. So we're really hoping to do all those kind of ones. Great cities, I hear.
I'm excited that you found like this little thing that you can do and something you can collect almost. Like that's kind of one of the things I do. I'm excited to see what it's like in a different place. So it's really cool that you have like something that you have a connection to, and that holds meaning for you. That's something you can do with your mom also, which is awesome.
Which is awesome. The only thing that's kind of less cool is that there's only so many teams. There's 32 teams, and a bunch of them are like clustered. Like you think
Sure.
about the Giants and the Jets in New York,
Right.
really in New Jersey. Come on, they're Jersey teams. In the Meadow, they play in the Meadowlands, and then you have all the teams in California. But other than that, I mean, there'll be some cool places to go. Like I said, Green Bay was cool. Like, why else would you go to Wisconsin? I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go to Wisconsin, but I mean,
No
that's
offense,
one of the
Wisconsin.
yeah, no offense, Wisconsin. I loved it there. It was awesome. The whole state was cool. But there's places that I wouldn't normally go to unless for football.
Now that you've been kind of getting more into like going out in nature as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like welcomed in nature? Do you feel pushback from anybody?
Just in the woods, generally people of color, African Americans feel a little uncomfortable, but we will get more comfortable by getting out into nature. And I have a niece and a nephew that are 2 and 4 and 8, and 2 nieces. And I'm really excited to get them outside, get them out with the drone, get them out in the parks. I mean, all the stuff you show me in national parks so far has been amazing. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with them too.
Awesome.
There's just a lot of fear of running through the woods, being chased, that kind of thing. That kind of stuff gets subtly ingrained.
Sure. You were just saying that it's like a little bit more ingrained that
Sure.
black people might not want to be in the woods. I've heard and read that people of color don't feel as welcome in nature by other people there, you know, by say
Sure.
the white people there.
Yeah.
Have you encountered that at all? Any pushback or anything like that?
I mean, what's fun for us is that we've gone to shows together. So when I first started going to shows like rock shows, I would get the look like, hey, did you think that this was like 50 Cent on Ice? And I'm like, no, I'm here for Thursday, I'm here for My Chem, I'm here for Census Fail. I've seen these bands probably just as many times as you have.
Yeah.
And I know every word just like you do. And usually by the end of the show, talking to people, they're like more accepting. I found it to be the same thing with the woods. Like at first, you'll see people out and they'll be like, what's this guy doing out here? And you get that feeling. And that's the other thing, as a person of color, you do just naturally get this feeling. So you're used to it, so you know it when it comes up. I'm kind of used to that feeling, so it doesn't bother me anymore, and I just kind of shrug it off. Now, that being said, the other reason why you get that feeling is a feeling of protection, for protection, because sometimes you're in a situation where people, not only do they not want you there, but they also may mean you harm.
Right.
So I have to kind of,
Diffuse it?
yeah, either diffuse or I have to make myself feel more comfortable. You know, a lot of people, when, you know, and this is not something I had to encounter, but they've been chased into the woods by people. The woods is also, if you look out here, there's no one else out here with us right now.
Right.
If somebody was to do me harm, they could do basically whatever they wanted to do out here, and I wouldn't have any recourse. So I think there's a level of discomfort that way too. I have to kind of push those feelings aside and realize the beauty of nature. Like, the more I come out with you, or just, I've actually been brave enough to come out by myself a couple of times since we've been walking and going to see stuff. I'm getting more comfortable. So
Great.
I think at first it is uncomfortable because you're not used to being out in that element, but the more I do it, the more I love it.
I will say to the camera, I'm happy to hear that you haven't like encountered anything terrible or anything too off-putting.
Right.
But I was going to bring up the shows as well, because I was like, that's probably like an interesting parallel. The punk scene and the pop, you know, the emo scene and the hardcore scene bill themselves as accepting communities.
Sure.
And I feel like they definitely do in some ways, but I'm sure there are ways that me as a white person I can't see things in those communities that you're seeing when you go, you know?
Right.
I'm sure there's things that I'm not noticing, and that's like one of the things I try to do as much as I can is ask questions and listen and it's try to see the things that I'm not able to see. Like I just literally just can't see it through my own eyes. So
yeah. With those shows, like generally, like you said, it's been positive feelings, but every once in a while you'll get somebody and you don't feel welcome. But that's been the exception, not the rule. Like the hardcore screamo side was more accepting. I think it was closer to that punk ethos.
Gotcha.
So I think those people were more accepting. But the metal scene, I felt less
you had to work
welcome.
for it a little more.
Yeah, I had to work for it. I felt like less welcome than I did at those other shows. So,
Okay.
you know, it's just something different, but it was very cool once I got in and started making friends and started going to shows. And then, you know, when you've seen a band for the 5th time and you see the kid next to you and he's right there and he's like, hey man, it's good to see you again.
Right.
That makes the shows all that better. So the community building is what's important.
Great. Well, that is excellent to hear, and I'm happy to hear that for sure. So you're into politics, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think we're doing, or we can be doing, or we are doing, that's making some waves and actually like making some changes, like between the BLM movement and positive Black role models and things getting out there that may not have gotten out there before? Like, what do you think is good that's happening right now? What do you think we need to work more on?
I honestly just think that it's more just about community building. I've encountered a lot of people who did not like me because of who I was. Now that seems surprising, right? But
Definitely.
having you know me,
Definitely.
but that, you know what broke those things down? Getting to know those people and allowing them to get to know me. So once people got to know me, they're like, oh, this guy's fine. He's cool. He's no different than my son,
Right.
if it was an older person, or he's no different than my other buddy, Jim.
Right.
Yes, I'm no different. And that's what the issue is that
We're all the same.
people
yeah.
need to see you as the same. They need to see you as just another person. I like pop punk, I like metal, I like going to shows, hanging out, I like doing all kinds of things just like you do. And the more we can find that common ground, I'll throw a plug in here for Common Existence from our favorite band. But those things, the more that we can find those things, the better life is gonna be. And I think that's the important thing.
Well, I don't think I could have said it any better, and that's awesome. And definitely a plug for the band Thursday that we're both a huge fan of and which brought us together.
Yeah.
So anyway, beyond that, I don't think I have anything to add to that. I heard a little bit of the politician in him coming out right there. It was like community building, but he's definitely right. And the punk, emo, hardcore community that we're a part of has always been a part of that for us.
Absolutely.
And that's something we bond over and something we love about that community. So I want to say thanks again. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for bringing me out,
Yeah, dude.
showing me the drone and everything.
Absolutely, dude. Fun
And
time.
it was awesome. So thanks to Omar for being here. Thank you for watching and subscribing. See you guys in the next video. This is a DJI Mavic Air 2. Not a sponsor just yet.
That would be sweet if it was.
One day.
One day?
Oh, it's following us from behind. Oh, what's he doing? We don't know what
I
he's...
don't know.
I never know what he's doing.
Okay.
The drone, that is.
Let's try that again.